All right, so today we're doing 7.3 trig equations in radians, okay? Notice that the only difference between yesterday and today is that we're in radian mode in our calculator. So when we are using our calculator, either reset your calculator, you remember menu, I'm at second plus 712, and it'll automatically put the mode back into radians, or go to mode and put it into radians, okay? But we're gonna follow the same steps. The only thing I'm going to have you do is, since we're rounding to our answers to the nearest 3 decimal places, we're going to put our, go from float. So again, I'm going to turn on my calculator. I'm going to reset it. So second plus 712. It's going to clear everything. And now my mode's back to radians, but because I want to round, I'm going to go to where it says float, and I'm going to move to 3. So I want the nearest, I want it to round to the nearest thousandths of a place. Okay, so I'm going to hit clear, and now my calculator is good to go. Okay, we're going to follow the same steps from yesterday. We're going to isolate the trig function, convert to reciprocal functions if need to, remembering our reciprocal functions. So reciprocal functions, we have cosecant theta equals 1 over sine theta, right? We have secant theta equals 1 over cosine theta. And we have cotangent theta equals 1 over tan theta. Got it? All right. And then ignoring the sign. We're ignoring the sign. We're looking for our reference angle. And reference angles are saying how far are you from the x-axis. And it's distance, so it's going to give us positive. Okay? The reason why we're going to ignore the reference angle, it's because we're going to use that to identify what quadrants it falls in. So all students take calculus is going to come into play here, right?
Oh, this is from yesterday.
The back of them. Okay. Inverse functions. Remember, your inverse functions in your calculator are your sine -1, cosine -1, tan -1. This means sine inverse, cosine inverse, tangent inverse. Okay. All right. Here we go. Same thing as yesterday. So first thing I need to do here, we already put our calculator in mode. Check. So now we got to isolate our trig. It hasn't beeped at me yet. What do I need to do to isolate? Divide by 5. So we're going to divide by 5, and we get cosine theta equals -1/5. Okay. Cosine is already in terms of cosine, so we don't need to worry about the reciprocal. Now we're going to do our reference angle. Our reference angle equals cosine inverse of 1/5. Okay, notice I didn't put the negative in. And we're going to put this in the handy dandy calculator. So I'm going to go to my calculator. Turn it on. Turn her on. And I'm going to hit second cosine 1/5. Hit enter. And I get 1 and 369 thousandths. And that's the answer. Do not put pi. Pi is a number, not a unit. My units are radians. Okay. So we found our reference angle. After we find our reference angle, now we're going to use our knowledge of where is cosine negative? What quadrants? Oh my gosh.
1 and 2. 2 and 4. 3.
2 and 3, right? This is where we have our negative x's at, right? So it's not here and here. All right. So if we're in quadrant 2, time's up, Daniel. Pencil down. All right. If you're in quadrant 2, that means it's going to be pi minus your reference angle. If you're in quadrant 3, it's going to be pi plus your reference angle, right? Okay. So let's find our theta. So theta equals, and I'm doing pi minus my reference angle. So second pi minus 1 and 369 thousandths. And there's one answer. And I got to do, I want to add on our calculators, we can arrow up and press enter. And that gives us our function, and we can switch from minus to plus fairly easy. And there is my second answer. So I have theta equals We have 1 and 773 radians. And we have 4 and 511 thousandths radians. Okay. Was it any different than yesterday?
No.
No. Huh? It's just radians, right? But are the steps the same? Everything's the same. It's just we're in radians now. Okay. All right. So for the next problems, you're going to be the ones telling me what to do, and I'm just going to be writing.
It's a little different though.
It's not. You got this.
3 minus cosecant.
Yep. You got this. All right. So you guys are telling me what to do. What do I do, class?
Subtract 3.
Okay.
Oh, I was right. Okay, I know what I'm doing. And then you divide by -1.
Okay. Okay.
Ooh, I got this.
All right. All right. Now what do I do?
You do the fraction thing because it's the inverse of cosecant, but the inverse sign is cosecant.
Reciprocal, right? So I'm going to find the reciprocal. So the reciprocal of cosecant, like Andrew said, is sine. And if I reciprocate this, what do I have to do to this? Also, so instead of 4 over 1, it becomes 1 over 4.
-1.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now where are we at?
We plug it into the
I need to find my reference angle. And how do I find the reference angle?
plug it into the calculator.
Plug what in? I just put all of that in?
Said -1/4 times
Good job.
180. No, that's wrong. Wait.
You just stop where you were at.
Yeah.
There we go. So I got to find my reference angle. So inverse sine of 1/4. So second sine 1/4. And there's our reference angle. So our reference angle equals 253,000 radians. Okay, now what do I do?
You find where it's negative.
There we go. So where is sine and cosecant negative? Where is sine and cosecant negative?
3 and 4.
3 and 4. So in quadrant 3, what? Negative y's in 3 and 4.
I'll put the x's in where they are.
Oh, okay.
Like I put the x's. I would put the x's.
It's okay.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
Oh, like where they should be?
Yeah.
Oh, got it. No, I put it where I'm not so that I can write. Yeah, I get what you're saying. All right, how do I find the theta in quadrant 3?
Pi plus.
Pi plus. How do I find the theta in quadrant 4?
2 pi minus.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh.
All right, so let's find our thetas. So second pi plus 253,000. And then 2 pi. No. 2 pi minus 253. Okay. And we get
3.395 and then 6.03.
There we go.
I say I'm okay, but it really.
Huh? Okay. It was a little different, but was it hard?
So do we have to put like rad?
So my teacher made us put rad. And so it's a habit for me. It's a good habit to have. A lot of times you guys don't know, you forget what that number is. And I've seen people put pi instead of rad, and pi is not a unit. Pi is a number. And so I've had to count people wrong because they felt like it needed something. Like with degrees, you have the little circle, right? But when you're just writing a radian, you don't have anything. So
It's just like a mental like.
yeah, so and my teacher would count off if we didn't put radian. As long as you don't put a pi there, but the moment you put pi there, no, it's wrong.
Right.
So,
As long as we don't put degree there.
or degrees, yes. Or degrees, yes. All right. Okay, I'm ready
I
for
know this next.
I'm ready for y'all to walk me through again.
So what you do first, you add 1.
Okay. Whenever it gets to the top, why is it not moving? It doesn't want us to learn, guys. It doesn't want us to learn. There we go. That wasn't necessary, DH. That was not necessary. Okay, what are we doing?
So add 1.
Okay.
Then you multiply by 5.
Ooh.
And then you divide by 3.
Okay. And then we're dividing by 3. Cool, cool, cool. So now I'm left with secant theta equals 5/3. Feel good about it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now what do?
Find the inverse, which
Reciprocal.
the reciprocal, sorry, which is cosine.
Cosine.
So, yeah.
And we have to do it not just to the secant, but also to its ratio.
Yep.
Okay. All right. What's next?
Cosine into the inverse. Well, we got in the reference angle. So cosine inverse 3/5.
Perfect. So second cosine 3/5. And so now our reference is 927 radians. Thousandths radians. All right. On to the next.
Then we find where it's negative.
What are they?
Oh, positive.
Positive.
Okay. It's when it's negative, we find where it's negative. Got it.
Okay. So where are we positive at?
1 and yeah.
1 and 4. Okay. So how do I use reference angle in 1?
Just itself.
It's just itself. Your theta equals your reference angle. And how do I do it in quadrant 4?
2 pi minus the reference angle.
There we go. So now I'm going to go to my handy dandy calculator and do exactly that. So we have 2 pi minus 927 thousandths. So our thetas are 927 thousandths and
5.356.
so what? Why not? That was step 1. Step 1.
What are calculators normally in degrees or radians?
They're automatically in radians.
Okay.
All right. Doable still?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Last one, no calculator. Back to
Yeah.
unit circle. Huh?
Radians relate to the circumference?
Yes. It does. All right.
Here you go all the way up here. Oh, yes.
All right. What do we do?
Divide by 2.
Okay. If you disagree with him at any point, no.
Don't tell me.
Okay. Now what am I going to do?
Square root it.
Okay. And when you take the square root of a fraction, you're taking the square root of the numerator and of the denominator. When you take the square root of something, it produces a what?
Positive and negative.
A positive and a negative. So we're left with plus or minus 1 over the square root of 2.
So that's not allowed. Right?
That's not allowed. So what do we got to do? It's irrational.
You have to multiply the radical.
There we go. We got to rationalize, right? And when we rationalize, we're left with square root of 2 over 2. Okay. And it's still plus or minus. Okay. Does this look like one of our numbers from our bingo boards?
Yes.
Yes. So that tells me I can use my unit circle, right? On the unit circle, what is sine? It's the what? The y. So I need y to be what? Square root of 2 over 2. And it doesn't matter if it's plus or minus. So I need to know where on my unit circle do I get
The middle one.
45.
The 45s. But in terms of radians, where is that at?
Pi over 4.
Yeah.
Pi over 4. So what's my next one?
3 pi over 4.
There we go. And my next one?
5 pi over 4.
Good job. And the last one?
7 pi over 4.
Yay! You did it. Without a calculator. Big brain, so. All right, 7.3 concluded. How do we feel?
Let's stick with 7.3 and 2.